Ratchet and Clank walkthrough. So now that we are able to breathe underwater now, we can do the part of the level where you have to breathe underwater. So this will be the resort area of this world, and you just need to kind of take a look at the map and say, okay, go down here, and we'll be able to reach the end of that question mark, or be able to reach that question mark, which is at the end of this place. So anyway, the guy at the end of here is going to want some Raritanium, which is something we can't actually get for a while. And there's also going to be some of the most usage of the Trespasser that we've seen so far in this game. Now, I haven't thought about this before, but I really hope the Trespasser isn't randomized every time you go to the door. Because if it is, then me putting up my stupid little 5-second pictures of what it needs to look like are completely pointless. So if it is randomized, I will repurpose those into what mine looked like, and that's just how it's going to be. So I'll assume they're not random. I mean, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense if they were, but I guess it could be. So anyway, we're going to need the Hydro Displacer, which you should have by now, and you can just switch to that. So you may need to open up your quick select menu and make sure that it's added onto there, or you can just equip it from that from the start menu if you need to. And then you'll want to drain all the water and open up your Trespasser, or activate your Trespasser, and then do the puzzle to open up your door. So for me, the door was best looked like that, and you can go back and pause it if you need to see it. And then the door will open on up. Now there's going to be so many of these the globby goo guys that we're going to be running into. And a lot of times those guys are better dealt with just running through, because they don't really do much else other than go in a circle. And as soon as they see you, they will charge after you, but they're pretty easy to dodge. So as you see, you need to be able to swim up there, so you need to come back and put all the water back into the pool with your Hydro Displacer, and then we'll be able to continue with this level. So then swim on back. And this is where being able to breathe underwater is really good. I'm not sure you can actually make it this far without that helmet, but it doesn't matter now. You can swim anywhere underwater for unlimited periods of time, and it's kind of fun to explore some of the water places. I don't do too much exploring in my walkthrough, because I just kind of feel like people don't really want to watch that. But if you're playing on your own time, then do whatever you want. But by this point, this game's so old, people who play this game probably already know everything anyway. And I'm just making a walkthrough just because I want to. There's no other reason. So there's a staircase, kind of a big staircase on the left side there, that is better if you just kind of climb up it and just go with it. I wanted to take out as many of these guys as I could, just in case I fell down. And that's really the only reason to take out these guys. Now, the Glove of Doom isn't really very efficient against them, just because you only get 4 Glove of Doom usages, and the guys spawn like they spawn like 6 of themselves, so 1 Glove of Doom doesn't even take care of 1 glob guy. But if you don't fall down, you don't really have to worry about them, and you're getting, like, it gives you a lot of pyro ammo, so I'm assuming it wants you to just run on in there with the pyro gun, but I don't really like that gun. Another way is just kind of to sit on top and snipe off as many as you can with your blaster, but since they go in a circle, they can be kind of hard to hit. And again, there's just so many of them, there's not really a big point in doing this other than saying you killed all the guys, or maybe you just want some of those extra bolts, because they will drop a bunch of them. So when you finally get bored of that, just climb up here, be careful of the platforms that like to rock back and forth, and then jump over that box, and then there will be yet another Trespasser for you to use. And in a second here, the screen will be coming up with what my solution was. And then you can finally open up the door and keep heading on forward. So here's yet another part where we are going to need this Hydro Mask. And I guess I should mention, the game mentioned it already, but I should probably mention that if you ever jump into water, then your mask will come on automatically. You don't have to worry about equipping it like you do certain other helmets. Now when you come down here, there's a bunch of these boxes that don't really do anything. I mean, they're just sort of in the way, and you can go down and blow them all up if you want to. I think I'll blow them all up just for the extra bolts. And I was also kind of hoping there wasn't, like, I didn't have to run back, and maybe they'd be in the way later, so just touch on them to get them to blow up. And then for these other ones, you should be able to get them to blow up pretty easily just by swimming right past them. And then there's a big stack here and a couple more, which really isn't a big deal. There's some ammo if you need any. And I think I just leave it because I'm like, whatever. So then make your way swimming through here pretty slowly. Later on in the game, Clank will get yet another upgrade that will allow you to boost through the water much, much faster than you can swim. And that makes swimming a heck of a lot more fun, but that's not for a while, so we won't worry about that just yet. Anyway, I'm getting rid of these final boxes, and then I'm going to swim all the way up. And as you can see, more globs of goo. So I think the thing I do with these guys is mainly just kind of run past them. You can try to take them out if you want to, and I take out a few of them just to kind of show the things that you can do. Now, one of the easy ways is to try to position them to where you can whack them into the water, because then they die instantaneously, but otherwise you'll want to hit them, and then you'll just want to jump back into the water, and that way you can hopefully avoid all their bites there. I mean, as soon as you're up there, they're all going to be targeted onto you, but they go straight back to the places where they were circling before, so it's not really that big of an issue trying to avoid them, because they are pretty easily avoided. You can also try to throw your wrench at them to get rid of the ones that are farther away, but the problem with that is that you can't move when your wrench is in the air, so it's a pretty good way to get bit too. And there's just a few of them I decided to take out until I decided to jump up onto that other platform up there. And eventually I think I just said, screw it, let's just keep going, because these guys there's just way too many of them. Luckily, we don't run into them much more often past this level, and that is pretty nice, because these things are just so annoying. I mean, that guy bit me, that's just... And then he's like, oh, yeah, I hate these guys. Okay, anyway, so I think I take that guy out, I just jump right on up and forget the rest of them. So then, destroy a couple of these boxes, pick up the ammo. They want you to use Glove of Doom, but like I said, it's not really that efficient against them. And here's yet another part where you'll have to use the Trespasser. So, stick it in, and this is what my solution was for the store. And then we're pretty much getting near the end of the level now.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I'm searching for a very elusive and secret substance.
Raritanium?
Maybe?
The oceans on this planet are said to be an excellent source of that element.
Well, not anymore. All that toxic dumping has obscured any trace of it. You will find Raritanium for me.
No, I will not.
Piece of junk. My latest invention, the Persuader. I intended to use it to control minds, but, well, the only thing it's got me so far is a discount from Gadgetron vendors.
Hey, I could use that.
Well, I'll trade it for some Raritanium.
I believe planet Hoven is a source of that element.
Our long-range sensors do not detect Raritanium on this planet. Our database indicates that the best place to locate this mineral is on planet Hoven.